So let's go a bit more into the detail about Orban's policies and especially against Ukraine. This is of course the biggest outrage, and it's very disturbing, that he invents all these anti-Ukrainian narratives that the minorities of Hungarians are treated badly in Ukraine, which is not the truth, and I know that very well. And he is inventing all these anti-Ukrainian narratives and uses it then to block EU and NATO future of Ukraine in the name of the service of his master, Mr. Putin. And that's the fact. Because he gets the cheap gas, he gets the Rosatom nuclear power, he gets many other things from the Russians, and basically he benefits very much on that. And then he invents in the 2014 situation, when he moved east to Putin in December and January with the big treaties in gas and nuclear. And then there was the Euromaidan parallel, so basically we lost Hungary, but we won Ukraine, or for Putin it was different. And so he went to the east, and he has since then blocked all the progress of Ukraine towards the west in the service of his master. And that's very clear, that's outrageous kind of a paid lobbyist for Putin in the West. And I followed all this, I mentioned it, I've made many tweets about it, but now before his supposed reincarnation, because he thinks he will move to office in Hungary similar like Putin in the fourth term when Kurz supported him. But I think no serious person in Europe on the center-right, center-left, maybe some extremists or some communists or whatever, some paid Russian agents, they will support Mr. Orban. But no serious personality in his clear mind can support like outsourced Russian power in the center of Europe. And this is very outrageous behavior. This is not just corruption, it's an ultimate level of sellout of the foreign policy and the betrayal of a nation, because, here are all the heroes, the Kossuth and 48, 49. This was the Russian army which was killing the Hungarians, not the Austrians, because we were already defeated. I was not there, obviously, but it was the Russian Tsar who was defeating the Hungarian revolutionaries. The Hungarians have never forgiven us, and it was true. I understand their freedom, their love for freedom. But what kind of love for freedom is this when Orban sells out to Putin? That's my point here. And also in '56, it was the Russians who were killing the Hungarians. Andropov, I don't know. And how can you now work with the Russians? How can you betray Europe in the name of whatever, some higher pensions paid by debts? The Hungarians would be much richer already if they would have joined the Eurozone together with Slovakia, which was the reasonable thing to do. But no, Orban knew it better, and so, of course, the misery continues. And it's not the fault of Europe, it's the fault of Orban. And of course it would be much better for Hungary if Ukraine would be in the European Union. Imagine, in NATO, it would be much safer, it would be much richer. It's a huge economic opportunity when your eastern country is in the EU, obviously. But no, you choose the Russian way. The temptations of cheap centralized kind of gas treaties with some kickbacks in Switzerland and Zug was too much. And so, no, it's a bit of a tragic story, because I'm relatively an admirer of Orban in his youth. In the 90s, he was a freedom hero. I was actually the one in the EPP students in the EDS who was bringing the Fidelitas, that is his student movement, youth movement, to the EDS and later to YEP, and then this was the front runner of the integration in the EPP. I was the person, obviously. I was really very active on that, and they were first in the Liberals, then here in the EPP, and now I'm no longer part of that, but I was really very instrumental on that one. And now then he went to the East, sold out everything. The Liberals, the Conservatives, no matter, their own history of 49 and of 1956, and of course 40 years of communist rule in this country. The Hungarians wouldn't have stomached any kind of Russian rules or communist rules without Soviet tanks. It's quite obvious. There was the Austrian neutrality in '55, and then the Hungarians made the revolution 1 year later because they thought, let's have neutrality or something Austrian style as well, because it was better than Soviet tanks. Then the Soviet killed them, in the tragic days of October 56, and then there was this another, let's say, calculate not 40 years but 35 years, yeah, until the fall of the Iron Curtain, which the Hungarians broke together with the Austrians. But the Hungarians were the heroes, not the Austrians. It was not Mock breaking the Iron Curtain, it was Gula Horn and the Hungarians. And the Eastern Germans, yes, and so there was a lot of heroes at that time, but Orban was one of them. And then, for being billionaire, of course, you sell out your country and your history, and you are a traitor. I mean, that's the thing. It's high treason to Europe. What else I can say? And this is absolutely unexcusable. What he did to Hungary, how he behaves in relation to the Balkans, the big campaign just for Serbia to be EU member in the contract of Vucic and all these things, yeah. And the anti-Eurozone campaign and all these things, yeah. This is all high treason, and it's absolutely inexcusable. And I will certainly not excuse it. Anyhow, I have said my small story here. More to come. Much more to come in the coming days. Thanks a lot. More to come. Bye.